Hey, y'all, and welcome to episode 1 of the best Wingman Around. I'm your host, Julia Golub, and let's just get right the fuck into it. So, this season, 2020 NFL football season, I've decided to boycott the NFL. I feel very strongly about their lack of speaking out on social justice issues, especially given the events of the last 6 months, given the contingency of their players and who makes money for them, and especially in comparison to what all of the other leagues are doing, from my favorite league, the NBA, even the MLB, just tennis, everyone's sort of doing more. And, but given the fact that for 20 years, I was so into football Sundays, in particular into the experience. It's a very nostalgic thing for me. And one of the things that I used to do that I'm still super passionate about is have wings with my football consumption. So my time in New York, it was a tradition amongst my friend group. It was something that we did every Sunday. And the reason that wing quality was of utmost importance to me was because at that time, because we did do this whole expedition and, drinking adventure every Sunday, let's be honest, I would only have wings once a year. And as a result, it was really important to me to have only the best wings. But I will preface right now, my legal counsel advised me to, that I'm not a wingtologist. I do not have a degree in wingtology. I am just a very passionate consumer, but I feel like I am somewhat of a connoisseur given the length of time and my experience in the field. And I will also mention that when I was in college in Ann Arbor, and I won't say how long ago this was, I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings. That was my first foray into wings. And since then, I've had all types of wings at all types of places. And now what I'm doing is I live in Oakland. There is a vast variety of different types of wings. There's mom and pop, there's Asian inspired, there's everything that you can imagine in the realm. And so every Sunday of the football season, I will be going to a new location, testing out the wings, giving them a little test drive, and then I will have a trusted resident wing expert in my circle come on the show and chat with me about it and really hone in on what's important to people about wings and other wing related things. So why don't we just kick it right off? Hey, T-Star.
What's going on?
Oh, just another day, another wing vlog.
Hey, I'm just happy to be here and talk about something that's as great that the world doesn't necessarily know about, but should, as wings.
I think so. I mean, I'm glad that we share the same passion. I'm glad that you're joining us here today. So thank you.
I'm glad to be here.
So why don't we just kick it off and you tell us a little bit about why you are the resident wing expert.
I consider myself a resident wing expert, number one, because I just love the hell out of wings. If there's ever an opportunity to have wings, sporting event, out and about,
preach,
party,
yeah,
whatever it may be, give me wings. I feel like wings are just a way that we can connect with each other and just be social and just enjoy. But at the same time, you don't have to get full off of them. It's just the taste, the excitement, oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I just love them. I just love them.
No, the passion is palpable. And what I'm hearing is that wings are one of the world's best snacks. One of the most nostalgic snacks. You wouldn't call it a snack? I think it is.
Ooh, we're gonna have the great wing debate. Is a wing a snack or is it? See, I like to think of them more of as an appetizer, but at the same time, you can just have wings for the entire meal.
Well, truthfully,
I think depending on the situation, that's just me.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I think when I say snack, I mean, you can have like one or two because an appetizer is a snack. It's just an adult way of saying snack. Am I wrong?
No, see, the way I look at it is an appetizer leads you to that full course. I like, me personally, I like to have meals coursed out. I want my appetizer, I want my salad, I want my entree, and I do want the dessert. Ooh, let me ask you this question. What's your favorite dessert to go along with wings?
So, my favorite dessert period is key lime pie. And I feel like, but I lived in Florida for all that time. You know what I mean? Like before that, I don't even know if I knew what key lime pie was. So I'm a little bit biased when it comes to that. I also love key lime pie because I feel like there's always room for it. You know what I mean?
So what you're saying is you would love to couple some wings with some key lime pie.
That's right.
Have you ever done that though?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh,
I know. I know.
oh, you got to do it. You got to do
Mm-hmm.
it now. Because this is one thing that I found is that wings with a great dessert, it just puts you in a whole different place. But it's like, say for instance, I know you got going with, standing against the NFL and, and the Sundays, and you've changed and shifted your Sundays now. But I will tell you this, as we usually used to watch football and, immerse ourselves in the gluttony that was wings,
Mm-hmm.
burgers, that was desserts, that was drinks, wings and dessert, that may mess up your Monday.
Well, you know what? Why don't you tell us what your favorite dessert is as it pertains to wings?
Cheesecake. Cheesecake. Hands.
Wow.
No,
Wow. Wow. That's a lot of richness, no?
no question. See, and that in me, the way I look at it is, yes, it may mess up your Monday because you're going to be slow, you're going to be sluggish, but it also does give you something a little bit harder to work for, especially in that Monday workout, especially when
It's
you
true.
train your mind and say, hey, for the rest of the week, I'm going to focus so that I myself at the end of the week with those wins. However you want to look at it.
It's a reward, and you know what else is important? I know you just alluded to football Sunday. I think it's important to have that food foundation if you're going to be drinking all day on Sunday. So that food foundation in your stomach.
You're right.
You know what I mean? You don't want to become a sloppy jalopy over there.
I mean, you do kind of want to watch the games. Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. You want to remember kind of what happened. You want to get to that Sunday night game, although we're fortunate enough where it's the Sunday afternoon game. And this is my favorite thing about living in California is that it's over at 7:00. You don't have to, be up until 11 o'clock.
It's over at like 8:30. Over 8:30.
Well, okay. Just a reasonable hour. When I lived in New York, it was like you had to stay up into the night.
Oh.
Can't do that at our age.
You're right.
But anyway, so on the topic of wings, should we just get right to the wings then?
I mean, I thought we were already there. I mean,
all right, let's get to the actual wings. So, again, as mentioned, as discussed, this is taking a stance against the NFL and their lack of kind of movement on the social front in terms of everything that's been going on in our country in the last couple of months. But I don't want to discount the fact that there are amazing people that are in the NFL. And so for my first wing restaurant, I decided to go to Rob Ben's, which is in Oakland, here where I live. Okay. And it's Marshawn Lynch's restaurant. And when I tell you that it's run by his aunts. And when I tell you that the second that I walked inside, they were just the world's nicest people. Oh, yeah. Like I can't even, I know you've been there.
Well, great service, but they make you feel at home.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key element of a great wing place, I feel.
I think I agree with you. And and I had never been there. I walked in there and I was like, wow, I wish I could stay here, but it's COVID. You can't eat anywhere inside. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to talk about the wings themselves. And I should say that normally Rob Ben's has flavors, sauces, but right now they're just doing plain.
Okay.
So,
which personally I think is the best way to go. Hands down. Especially if you really want to look at, is this wing better than that wing? That's just me.
You know, I think I agree with you because up until, recently, I really associated wings with like sauciness and like buffalo and whatever. But you can always add that in,
Right.
and I feel like this way you really get to taste the chicken, you get to really experience the texture, what's going on. So, with that
That
said, what?
I said that leads me to two things. I personally I agree with you. I think that the sauces and all that stuff, that's for the kids and the college prep boys.
It's true.
Past that point in life. But now I got another question for you though.
Mm-hmm.
Don't throw you off too much.
Please.
What kind of wing eater are you? Like, we've all seen the meme, the 1 to 5, how much are you leaving on the wing? Like which one are you? One where you just take a little bite and there's just like, oh, I'm done with that wing, or are you 5? You're just like savaging, mad dogging that thing, like sucking the gristle off the top. Which one are you?
Well, not to toot my own horn or anything, but when I do things, I do them right. So if it's a good wing, I'm going to go number 5.
Ooh, so if it's a good wing, you go 5. Okay. Okay.
Well, if it's not, I'm going to take a bite and I'm just going to be like, I'm going to leave this right here.
So then do you leave the rest of them, or do you just like kind of gnaw through them and nibble away?
I think in an order of anything, like
Mhm.
let's say fries, if you take a bite of a fry and you're like, you probably take a bite of another one, might just have been that one or those two. But then eventually you're like, okay, this is just it's not my day.
Okay. Okay.
And, I don't waste my time. But for the most part, I'm going to go number 5.
Okay.
I'm going to
Okay.
get right in there.
So like at Rob Ben's,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of wings are they doing? I've been there before.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the full wings, right?
They do the full wing. So here it is. So they have, it's the drum and the flat here and the tip here, little pointy
I
thing.
like to call that the crunchy part.
The crunchy part, scientific terminology, is they're all connected. So, for all y'all who are ordering like 10 wings at Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever, just have that because you got both in one, right? And then the other thing is that they're breaded. And I know that you have an opinion on that.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, me personally, breaded as opposed to just the pan fried, but you know, I
Well,
appreciate both. But if I had a choice, if I'm gonna enjoy the wonderful gluttony that is wings, that are wings, give me all the smoke. I want the fried, I want the breaded, I want it all. Give it to me.
yeah, exactly. And the thing about breaded though is it can be tricky. It can get tricky because exactly, it can get tricky
It's tricky.
because
Real tricky.
you can have too much breading and then you bite into it and then your mouth is ripped into shreds. I liken it to, I
All the
know you don't
way.
even have a mouth anymore. It's like when I liken it to one of my other favorite foods, which is pizza. And you go to a pizza place and you're like starving and you want to get into that first piece of pizza and then you take a bite and it's so hot that it burns the roof of your mouth and you're like, well, I just fucked my evening up. Not going to taste anything else. Still going to eat it. Still just going to eat it, but not going to taste anything. Anyway, so speaking of eating, why don't we just get right into it?
Okay,
So
yeah.
I'm going to tell you what this is all about.
Hungry over here already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting right in there. Okay. So.
I don't know how I feel about the okay. Okay.
No, I'm just trying to, formulate my thoughts because it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Formulating my thoughts. We were just talking about breading. Perfect breading ratio.
Uh-huh.
Just the right amount of crisp to softness.
Okay.
Not an overpowering amount of bread so I can still taste the chicken.
Okay.
Talking with my mouth full. Svetlana Golub, sorry. Yeah.
Are they more peppery or are they more salty?
I would say they're not very peppery. They're not very spicy from a heat standpoint. I think the idea here is that people can layer on their spice. But what I love, and especially with breaded wings, I feel like it's easy to get this wrong too, is that the bread will absorb the salt. And especially when there's like fat involved. And I feel like a lot of the time, places tend to over salt to create flavor where there is none. And I feel like that's just cap. So. Yep. It's cap.
Let me ask you this. Because all the guys out there, I'm sure they want to know. If you go on a date with a guy, are you getting the wings?
So that's a complicated question. It's a question with several parts to answer. So if this is a first date, probably not.
What if it's go watch the game? Then what?
Well, I think that.
So you're not being true to yourself?
I think that if it also depends on the person. Like, yeah, if it's watching the game and it's just he and I, then yeah, probably I'll get wings if it's a place to get wings. I will never, let me put it to you this way. If it's a place to get wings, I'm not going to not get wings just because of circumstantial reasons. That'll never happen. But I do know that this is something that is a debate topic amongst men. And if I don't know this, and if we're going out with this gentleman's friends, and I don't know what their stances are on wings, I probably won't eat like barbecue wings or a rack of ribs in front of them and like become the joker. Like I'll probably err on the side of not doing that. You know what I mean? Just because even though I would never date somebody who would judge me, I just, err on the side of like not.
So my question is this. Let's just say you're out with your homegirls and you're amongst a group of, mixed group of friends.
Of course.
You don't know these two gals over here and they order wings too. One orders buffalo, one orders barbecue. And, they've been making some little snickering jokes and little whispering this, that, and the other. They're into the table. And one of them's just got like stuff all the way up to here. Good looking guy walks up. He might be the waiter. I don't know. Somebody who's just been, let's just say good looking guy. Good looking guy walks up. He wants to buy the table drinks. And she's just giving him the eye and, all that good stuff. There's flirting. There's maybe chemistry. She turns to him and and right as she's turning, you guys all see the big, do you tell her right before she turns or no?
Immediately. I'm jumping across the table. I'm taking one for the team.
Even though she was kind of earlier in the day?
You know what? Karma.
Right. Well,
Yeah. How would I want someone else to treat me in that situation?
Okay.
Give without expecting in return, etc.
There you go. So it sounds to me like, you know what? You're the real wing MVP.
You think so?
You might be. You might be one of them.
Well, I did want to tell you about this. So I think grease factor is a big part, especially for me, of wing consumption. So I just placed these on a paper towel. And let me show you this impressive result.
Well, that's not too bad.
Not at all. Not at all. So I was just trying to visually describe the crispness because, being that wings are the highest skin to meat ratio part of the whole chicken, it's really hard to get that crispiness rather than the like chewy rubbery texture, which just horrifying even to say, like makes you think of rubber chickens and other things, and not happening here. It's perfectly crispy. And if you like this little guy here, It's all, it's all there for the taking.
All right.
So anyway, I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy Sunday to talk to
Oh,
me about wings.
for sure. Thanks for having me on. It was good to get your insight as a wing expert.
A wing expert, but I will say not a wingtologist. Legal counsel told me to disclaim, not a wingtologist, don't have my degree in wingtology.
Yeah.
So you take care now. I won't judge you if you go watch football. I get all that. I get all that.
Hey, I don't know if I'll watch football, but I know I'm gonna go get some wings.
Perfect. Well, you have a great day.
You too.
Bye.